And we're back. So, good news. I got my Cintiq working again. I guess a little reboot was what was required. So, let's dive in. Where we left off, I was talking about the pelvic region, how I was a little rusty and I wasn't 100% sure how I wanted that to play out. I took a look at some anatomy images earlier, and I think I have a better idea of how it's supposed to go. Like my memory of the skeletal structure is a little whacked, but also I took a photo reference for how I want the arm and staff to be positioned. So I will be sparing you from having to see that picture because it's of me, and at the moment I'm hideous. So I will not be torturing you guys with that. I will be looking at that myself and adapting it to the current use. So that's the thing. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I'll be drawing over the existing layer. I'll be drawing over this layer. I'll be working on this layer, I think. You know what? I'll create a new layer just because you never know how many times you're going to have to erase, and you may accidentally erase something that you like. So let's not do that. Yay. Alright. I still have my pressure sensitivity where it needs to be. Alright. Actually, you know what? I'll drop that down a bit. And also possibly tuck it in. Tuck it in behind. There we go. Now you come down here. Actually, still some foreshortening, so it's not like and then it's also cut off by the hand. Specifically the thumb here. staff. That's actually a little too foreshortened. I'll work some more detail into that in a little bit. Not so much. I may be reducing the scale of this hand, apparently. I think that's a little too big. Got the thumb. Comes out like so. Fingers wrap around. So yeah, this staff has to be pretty damn big around. I'm using this. Yeah, I'm definitely have to shrink down this this hand, because it is not supposed to be this large in proportion to the rest of the body. Let me zoom in this picture. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Okay. Alright, and the rest of the hand is kind of obscured by the staff itself, which comes down like so. Alright. So yeah. Well, maybe that is fairly accurate proportionally. Eh, I think I still kind of want to adjust the staff. Actually, let's try and take this whole thing, scale it down just a hair. Not 100% liking where that's laying. Yeah. Not quite. Actually, what I think I really ought to do is possibly make that bicep a little longer. Or maybe come down at a different angle. All right. So then I can lower this book. We can rest it around here. But in the meantime, let's focus on the pelvic area. All right. My references in place. New layer. I just love making new layers, man. One of my favorite things to do. Apparently. Alright, so it looks kind of like a butterfly. Alright, so for all intents and purposes, this is the shape of the pelvis, and then the legs ball sockets for the thigh bones, basically here and here. Ah, what am I thinking? That's not how it goes. They come out a little bit, and then down. Knee bone. Shin. And that'll be that pretty much. Oh, again, see if there's anything more interesting I can do with this leg. I mean, I guess it's fine, really. Unless I just want to take it maybe further back. No, I'm not really liking that. Not really loving it. So we go back. And there we go. I love having multiple levels of undo on this thing. That's really handy. So, we have the skeleton. Now let's try to work in some bone. First, let's group all this, all these layers. From here all the way up to here. Control G to make a group. Lovely. And hide the rest of this stuff. Cloak. We just got the skeleton. And the magic, because why not? New layer. Okay. Calm down, color. We're going to make you a little darker. All right, so First off, I'm going to start with the shoulder muscles, because I think, why not? It's a good place to start. Shoulder muscles, and I gotta keep in mind that this is not a buff dude. He does not have a significant amount of meat on his bones. He's just. I actually did some research earlier today into the character and origins of Merlin, and turns out, God, there was a there was a very there was a possibly actual historical figure that the character of Merlin was based on. I think his name was Muradin or something like that. Muradin, possibly. And he had been a Celtic warrior bard who served as an advisor for a king. And in a battle, he fought in a battle, and it like really traumatized him. He kind of went nuts, and kind of just decided to hermit himself up in the woods, never to be seen or heard from again. But this was a time when Christianity was taking over, um, and but he was a pagan, so he was also afraid of persecution. So he didn't want to reveal himself and be out as a worshiper of the old pagan gods, keeper of the old traditions, or they would end up killing him, burning him at the stake or some shit like that. So let me get an image of some muscle structure so that I know that I'm not just making this shit up as I go along, and make sure it's actually right. Alright, that works. For the most part, that works. That's right. There's a muscle, goes here, all the way down to here, which is why you've got that V shape in your neck. There's two muscles that account for tilting your head left and right. Muscles that go back here, that attach pretty much on the clavicle. And then there are the muscles that attach from the back that go up to the base of your neck from your shoulder. Keep in mind, he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Alright, so the shoulder, to me, looks kind of like an almond. Like an almond shape. Alright. We've also got biceps. I know the triceps are back here as well, but let me get a good look at arm muscle structure. Oh, nice. Okay. That's actually really helpful too. Ooh. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. It's interesting how all of these muscles sort of like overlap and fold in on each other. Alright, so there are the biceps and then there's the triceps back here, but the shoulder muscle kind of comes down and disappears in between the two of them. I would imagine it attaches to this bone somewhere. Back. I might have had this backwards. There's a muscle that comes down here. And then these are relatively straight. This one does kind of do this hinky thing here. So that I don't really see that. Actually, I think that might be wrong. But anyway. It goes here. You know, there's a lot of different muscles here, but I don't have to draw all of them. They do basically the same thing. Come up pretty much straight up. Alright. I'll leave the hands alone for now. I don't need to draw all the muscles in the hand. I'm familiar enough with it to know how that goes. upper top. Wait, there's the sternum. Maybe I made that sternum too low. I think I did. The sternum's actually supposed to come up here, roughly. Pretty much right at the base of the chest muscles. Oh, no. No, yeah, because the abs come up pretty much right here. The ab muscles. Some of this detail is getting lost, so I need to increase the opacity of my strokes here. Alright, so zoom in a little bit. Split the abs right down the center. First set here at the bottom is pretty much right where the belly button goes. And there are 2 more. There. Now you got your 6-pack. For muscles that come down across the rib cage, like so. Then so do this number to attach to the pelvic bone. Alright. Then there's the butt muscles. He said butt muscles. I don't like that at all. That's not. I made him Italian. Okay, so yeah, also I need to keep that in mind. Yeah, no, this is not correct. This is not. first order of business, I think I do really need to reduce the size of the pelvic bone. Yeah. Let's play around with that scale, because on a male, the pelvis is not as wide as the shoulders. They're narrower. So let me scale that down. Move that up. Maybe scale it down a little bit more. Move it up. And bear in mind, nope, let me scale it up a little bit. Alright, that seems a little more reasonable. And I have a little more leg room. Yep, I said it. I said it. I brought the dad jokes. You're welcome. Zoom in here again. Take another look at the abs and where they're supposed to go. Yeah, I definitely need to examine that a little more closely, because I need to bear in mind that he is kind of twisted and bent. So yeah. Divide these down the middle. Belly button here. No. And then the one here is a little larger. I need to shift this whole thing over. Yeah, I need to skew that a bit, because that's not actually the center. This needs to come out a little bit more. There we go. That's not really as severe. actually should knock this back a little bit further so that we don't get too lost, because that's definitely a possibility. Right, because he's kind of bent here, it squashes, and that stretches. All right. Got the thigh muscles and whatnot. We got the muscles of the inner thigh. Yeah, he does not have these substantial quads. I don't know why I keep doing that. Like, too much time watching comic book movies and drawing comic book characters and stuff. I keep wanting to bulk everyone up like they're on steroids. But they don't. All right. I could stand to make that leg a little bigger. I'll worry about that later. I need to move on to, like, this is part of the, at least in the drawing, a part of the anatomy that you're never actually going to see because there's going to be like a table with the book there covering up most of that. So I'm not going to get too lost in that detail, but it is important to know where the bones are, where the muscles connect, just so you can have a good idea of, like, it informs the rest of your drawing to have a solid understanding of where the positions of the body are, even if you don't actually see them in your picture. It's more important than you might think. Shoulder muscle, disappeared, bicep. And there's this muscle that comes out and bulks up. This one folds over. And these come out and go straight up. Alright. And that's the game. Oh, wait. Nope, I have that wrong. The thumb muscle, like this is the muscle that connects on the thumb side, and that's the thumb side there. Oh, no, that's probably still right. That connects right there. Lovely. Alright, so now I can come back to those legs and make sure I have them where I want them, where I need them to be. Turn off the muscle there. Alright, muscles back on. I didn't really do much. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Okay, so this is a thing. Maybe do I move indecisiveness? I'm going to swing that out a bit. it down a little bit. So now we switch back to the muscles. And it's important to note when you are doing your thigh muscles that they come down and they go around the outside of the knee. That's where they go. They're not just there for show. Down, around, and outside of the knee. Quadricep muscles. Alright, and then there's underside muscles that connect as well. And actually connects to the underside of the butt. There. Alright. And there are other muscles that come down. But also, then there's the calf muscles, which, again, he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Alright, so now we have the muscles. Now we have the muscles. Good question. Where do we go from here? Trying to figure out where I should go from here. Should I do just like a general outline of the body with some... do that. I really kind of want to start blocking in some of the form, like give it some shading. Like, I don't want to, if I go into shading now, like, there's really no point to it, because eventually I'm going to have to overlay clothes on top of him. So that kind of defeats the purpose, because then I have to do the shading on the clothes as well. I think his skull is still way too big, but that may just be because because I'm not used to having such a small body. You know what? I think looking at it now, this whole side seems like, I know there's foreshortening at play, but the whole thing seems off. I might need to play around with it a bit more. Well, I've got about 10 minutes until 9 anyway. Might wrap things up for now and give it some thought on where to go next. Let's see. Yeah. Might consider moving this layer, rotating it a bit. Here. That looks a little better. Yeah, no, that arm still needs to come down further. Yep. I knew that arm was not sitting right with me. It was too damn short. All right. Now, let's go back. All right. So now, let's throw everything. That beard. We've come quite a ways. we've come from this very, very rough sketch to this, which is a bit more anatomically accurate. Gruesome, I will definitely say gruesome, but it seems more grounded in form. And I'll be throwing clothes on top of him, working on his face, and then start shading him in. And that'll be the fun part when I start working out the light sources. It'll really start to take shape. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Thank you very much for watching. This has been episode 3 of my Artstation challenge for Merlin. And that is fitting nicely on my template where I want things to go. Yeah, that's working out. So, yeah, I will see you this time. Actually, no, let me make an announcement here. Last 5 minutes of the show. I will not be doing a broadcast tomorrow. I'm going down to a, let's see, there is a karaoke contest in Bradenton that I am participating in, but I'm not participating tomorrow. My boss and one of my other coworkers are going down to participate as well, and I'm going to go down there to cheer them on. Their goal is to qualify for the next round. I've already qualified, but like this whole thing is also ongoing. So every once in a Wednesday, I won't be broadcasting, but the plan is to broadcast at least every day of the week that I'm not doing this contest. So yeah, I'll be here Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 9, generally, unless something comes up, which sometimes it does. And I'll let you know in advance, and that's pretty much it. So have a good night, happy drawing, may the force be with you.